Hello, and welcome on in, everybody. I hope you're having a good day so far. In today's video, we are speaking about Defiler and the best way that you can minimize the time you spend inside killing him and reap the rewards that you so desperately want and need to get. So just to cover a few things, Defiler is the Abyss Void intercept battle that we have. I don't know how long it will be in the game, but he is here at the moment, and from farming or from playing and from going up against him, you get certain materials. The most important material that people are looking for would be the Void Abyss metal fragments. With the Abyss metal fragments, you get to craft yourself core particle disruptors. This will allow you to upgrade your weapon cores so that you can have the best stats that you desire. And this is a video that is going to show you an easy way to do it. However, you will need a very specific descendant, and that descendant is Glay. We all know that Glay is powerful, and she is by far one of the best characters you can have for damaging with weapons, along the likes of Enzo and Haley. Before we jump into anything else, we will go over the builds that we will be running for this specific kill. Yes, this is a 6-second kill. However, times can vary if you don't follow the correct steps, if you do something wrong, if you don't have the right mods on. All of these will contribute. So I would suggest that you pay attention and that you look at what I'm doing when I do it, so that you have the best possible results at the end of your farm. First things first, we're going to go over the weapon of choice, and the weapon of choice is the Last Dagger. The Last Dagger has been buffed recently within the season, and it has been outperforming a lot of weapons when it comes to raw DPS. The modules that we will be running on this is specific to Defiler, so you might have to add a few extra catalysts slots onto your weapon so that you can fit all the required modules for this. We'll start off with the basics, which is our bread and butter, which is rifle reinforcement and action and reaction with fire rate up. Those three mods are basically something that should come with every weapon, in my opinion. They are just so good. It goes on all of my weapons, or most of my weapons. And then another one that we need to add to it would be concentration priority. Concentration priority is slowly becoming part of the Three Musketeers. So soon we will have all four of them, because these four mods together are just amazing, and then the rest of your build can just be amplifying weak point, crit, or whatever you need to go into. But nonetheless, we have our four mods. After that, we will be going for better concentration, because this will increase our critical hit damage. And then for our two weak point mods, we're going to go with a weak point sight and have aiming. The last two mods are crucial for this build and for this to work, and that would be mental focus and ultra precision strike. Now, the one thing I can say is that you will be rewarded greatly for hitting weak points consistently or consecutively. However, failing to hit a weak point could result in your DPS taking a huge tank. So you have to be fairly accurate with your weapon when you are shooting to get the best results out of your farm, but that will come easily with time. And if you follow the steps that I have in place for you in this video, you will do just fine. When it comes to your weapon cores, you will want to have specific stats on it. In my opinion, you can get away with fire rate 19% and 16%. That is what I have. Anything lower combined would make your time a lot more difficult farming this. Secondly, you want to have 2 firearm attacks. If you can get a double 80, that would be amazing. But if you get anything between 80 and 77, I would say that is fine as well. You don't have to worry. It won't make that much of a difference when it comes to this skill. And then lastly, you need electric attack as well. The reason why we're going with electric is because Defiler is weak to electric. so you get bonus damage from that. On your weapon readjustment, you can have firearm attack, electric attack, firearm critical hit damage, and you can have weak point. This is not set in stone though. You could have a different variety of things. There are no right options here. The most important ones you would want to have, in my opinion, would be firearm attack, and you would want to have firearm critical hit damage. The weak point is not entirely needed, and the electric attack is not needed. So if you wanted to swap it out and you wanted to go with critical hit rate and something else, you're more than welcome to do that. I don't feel like it will have too much variance in the results when you're farming Defiler. Now that we've discussed the weapon, let's go over to our reactor and our external components. For our reactor, we are going to go with any reactor. It does not matter what type of reactor it is. The only options you are looking out for would be the substat options. In my case, it's a gold skill cooldown with a purple skill duration up. You want to have both gold if possible. It might be a bit of overkill because I'm doing quite fine with the 1 gold and 1 purple. However, having 2 golds would be fine. I would even go as far to say that if you had 2 purples, 1 purple skill cooldown and a purple duration, that would be fine as well, because with the specific build, you will be looping your first skill ability and your third skill ability. For those of you who do not know, Glay's first ability is called Frenzied. When you use this ability, it will give you an increased firearm attack and penetration while it reduces some of your HP. So Glay doesn't have shields and she doesn't have mana. When she uses her skills, it uses of her HP that she has. So in the case of Frenzy, when you use your first ability, you will take 10% of your max HP, or of the HP that you currently have. While you are in Frenzy, you will never need to get out of Frenzy in this. And while you are in Frenzy, what it will allow you to do is use your third ability, which is called Increased Sensory. When in Frenzied state, you apply the buff called Maximize Lethality, during which bullets are not consumed. So what this will do is basically give you unlimited bullets in your magazine. It will not consume any of your bullets. And because our skill cooldown and our skill duration is the way it is, it means that we will endlessly be able to loop this third ability and never have to use ammo. So my skill cooldown is 7.4 seconds and my duration is 9.7 seconds. What this means is that by the time my skill is off cooldown, I would still have more or less 2 seconds of my unlimited bullets. With that, the build comes very specific. I would say you could change a few things around maybe with regards to your HP mods. However, I found that for people who are not that experienced with using Glay, or people who are not that familiar with the abilities and how to use them, I would include an HP mod in it. If you don't want to use an HP mod, there is a alternative mod you can use, and it's called Conditional Recharge. This will make you getting below 50% of your health a lot easier without you having to spam your 1 as much in the beginning of the fight. However, we will get to that after we talk about the build, and the build is fairly simple. You have your basics, which is your MP conversion and nimble fingers for your cooldown. Then you will have maximized duration and skill extension for your duration. On top of that, we are going to add Battle of Stamina, which will give us a little bit more skill duration. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. However, while you are in game, having even just half a second extra of being able to fire off your weapon without having to use your skill too early can make a huge difference. We have focus on dimension and focus on non-attribute. I want to stress that it really doesn't matter which focus mods you have on this. It could be focus on toxic, it could be focus on electric, it doesn't matter. The only reason that we are using focus mods is for the skill cooldown that comes with it. So both of these focus mods will give you a minus 6.1% cooldown, which is needed for the build. Then your last 3 mods that you will be using will be shot focus to increase your firearm attack, walker tightrope, which will increase your firearm attack even more once you are below 50% health, and then an HP mod. Again, the HP mod is not fully needed if you are more familiar with how Glay works and how her abilities work. So if you are in that situation where you don't need HP, you can swap it out with conditional recharge. This will make it easier for you to get below 50%. However, when you are trying this out for the first time, I would suggest using an HP mod because it gives you more room to make a few mistakes along the way. We have mid-air maneuver. It really doesn't matter which sub mod you have in here, as long as you can fit everything comfortably without having any issues, then you are set to go. I do not have any trans modules on this build because when you are using her weapon, you don't need any trans modules. There are no trans modules that help you with the specific way of using Glay. A lot of people say that Predator Instinct is a good mod to use. Yes, it is good to use. However, it does not stack with her third ability. So while you are in her third ability, you will not get any stacks of Predator Instinct. So keep that in mind when doing this. Aside from the reactor, you would need, or you could use 3 different sets when it comes to your external components. You could use the veteran set, which I like using because it gives me the most consistent damage and kills. You could also, if you do not have the veteran set, because I know a lot of people won't have it, you could use the volcanic set as well, but you need to have a full set because what you are looking for is the extra 10% attack from handgun. And then secondly, you could use the annihilation set. You would want to have the full 4 set for this as well, because the annihilation set works so well with Glay, because you are proccing walker tightrope and because your health is always low, or you want your health to be as low as possible. You will always get benefits from walker tightrope from your modules, and you'll get benefits from your external components. One thing that I do need to note though is that there is no right set for this. So if you don't have a certain set, you don't have to worry. This is just to give you additional damage and additional numbers. You could use a 2-piece, you could use 4 different pieces. It doesn't matter. It's going to make your kill less consistent, but you would still be able to kill Defiler within a reasonable amount of time. So the main thing you want to do as soon as you load into the fight is you want to use your frenzy ability, because you want to make sure that you are ready so that you can start looping your third ability. And the way I do it is I will just use frenzy 1 time. This is not taking into account that you have walker tightrope. And as soon as you are allowed to go, I will grapple, and by my second jump I'll use my third ability and I'll start spamming my weapon. By the time you need to reload or redo your third ability, you will have just enough time so that you start damaging him once he becomes invulnerable. Now the only difference is that if you don't have the veteran set, you're going to get less consistent kills. So I would suggest that you do get the veteran set. And on top of that, you want to make sure that you're proccing walker tightrope as well. While it's not fully needed, you can still get a decently fast clear without proccing your walker tightrope. It's going to lead to more consistent kills and much faster kills as well. So while you are getting used to it in the beginning, just use your frenzy once and then start looping your third ability. Once you become more comfortable with it, you can start doing this. You can start lowering your HP in spawn while you're waiting for the game to start. You do the exact same thing. You grapple out, by your second jump pop your third ability and start shooting. This way you are now already below 50% of your health, and you will see the difference immediately is that you will do more damage to him and he won't be able to actually get into his frenzy mode, and that is where you get the 6-second kill. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for the video today. I hope this video will help you out and help you get more consistent kills on Defiler and get those short kills so you can start farming. And as always, make sure that you eat, make sure that you hydrate, but most importantly, take care of yourself. If you do want to stop by the stream over on Twitch, I have it linked in the description. And if you have any questions, you can ask it in the YouTube comments, or you can come over to the stream. I'll be happy to help or answer any questions that needs answering. Bye bye for now.